Hey everyone, welcome to a new texture tutorial. In this case, I will explain you how to edit some states textures. For example, the bow that has many states, the shield that has the blocking one and not, the crossbow, etc. I will just explain the bow, but this is the same idea for every item. Well, I suggest you to take a look at the previous tutorial where we learned how to get the normal or the default files of texture packs, because in this way everything will be faster than normal. For example, if you want to change the crossbow model, instead of asking me or on Discord or on Reddit or searching somewhere, what are the crossbow files? Well, you can search them on your own using the method I explained in the previous tutorial. So let's change the bow. First of all, create your texture pack. It needs pack the meta, the photo. This is already explained. Assets, let's create. In Minecraft, let's create two folders. Models, then textures, inside models, item. If you are not sure of what are you doing, you can search it on the default texture pack explained. You go to Minecraft, models, items, so it's perfect, and now you have the files. Let's search the bow one, and there you have. These are the four states. So you have the bow.json and the pooling ones. Let's open all of them just to take a look. Perfect. So the pooling one is not linked to a model, it's linked to a texture. The pooling one to a texture and the pooling one to a texture. Perfect. So there is nothing we can do with the pooling ones, but with the bow one, well, there are many things. First of all, the display is not necessarily touch. It is just how the bow is displayed. But the overrides is what are we looking for, because we can here add custom model data and all that stuff. So let's add custom model data because that is what we want, adding new custom bows into our texture pack. Well, this is very easy to understand. When it is pooling one, well, this model is used. If the pool is 0.65, well, this is the model used, etc. We will do the same. We will just copy all these. We first have to add a comma here. And now you can see on the orange part, this is all the new part. Well, what are we going to add here? Just the custom model data. In this case, it will be custom model data 1. Don't forget to add a comma. So let's add it on everyone. Okay, so what are we saying here? If you don't use custom model data, use this one. If you are using custom model data 1, use this one. Okay. But they are using the same model, and that is not idea. So let's add a folder here called bow1, for example. So now all the files with custom model data 1 will go to item bow1 and then bow pooling 0. So let's add these to everyone. And obviously, since it needs bow polling 0, let's copy this into here. Perfect. But as you can see, custom model data 1 is only using pooling ones. Where is the default bow? Well, we have to add it. This is very important what I'm going to say right here, but just copy it. The orange part is the new part. When you add the bow without pulling, that it will be like this. Bow1, bow. Perfect. And we have the comma because it doesn't have anything more. Well, it it needs to be at the top of the previous one. If you put this one, for example, at the last part, after all the pull ones, it may cause a problem where when you're pulling the bow, the arrow doesn't appear. So I'm telling you, just put it at the top of the custom model data one list. For example, if you got all these custom model data one, well, the first one is the normal bow. If you then have custom model data 2, well, the first one will be the normal bow, and then the others. If you can, just copy this order and it's fine. As I said, this tutorial is already explained on the wiki, so you can take everything from there. But I would suggest you to use this method because everything will not be explained on the wiki. But here, with the method of all items, well, you can do everything here. So we have with custom molded data one, we are linking to every file inside bow one. This is ready. Let's open bow one. It needs obviously a bow.json here because we're linking it to bow.json. Okay, let's close this and now let's open these ones. Well, as you can see, it is linked to a texture, so we have to add that texture. That will be the new texture of our bow. Where you can get them, you have to go to Minecraft textures, item, bow pulling. Okay, here you have. These are the ones that you need. I just pick them up and put them here. And I have them here. As you can see, they are white because I changed some of them, except this one. I will just explain what I did, but it's just a small thing just to show you in game it works, and that's it. It's very it's not a big thing. You can change it as you want, obviously. You can make anything you want, but this is the idea. So now we have the textures. And if we take a look at the JSON, it needs textures to be on item bow pulling 0. Let's take a look. Textures, item, bow pulling 0. But this is the normal place where bow pulling 0 is. So we don't want to override the vanilla ones, we want to add new ones. So let's add a new folder that normally is not here, called bow1. And let's put everything here. Perfect. So now everything is inside bow1, so we have to put it here too. Bow1, bow1, and bow1. Perfect. Remember, I am modifying the files that are inside bow1 folder. These are the files that I modified. This one is not necessary. Even you can delete this. The only part important is the bow.json that manages the custom model data. So now we have this bow.json that it's this one. This one doesn't need the custom model data part, so I will just delete everything. And the only needed part is the layer 0 that is the texture of the bow when it's not pulling. That we will use the item bow1 bow. Remember why am I using this path? Because it's on textures, item, bow1 bow. Okay, let's save this and everything is ready. Let's put myself in creative. let's load the texture pack. It's normally loaded. Yes, so I will just reload. So every change I did is reload. Let's give ourselves a bow. This is an important part because you may want to test if the normal bow works. If you did something wrong, the bow will not show up. Perfect. And now let's give ourselves the one with custom model data 1. Okay, it looks white. It's a good sign. And let's load it. And perfect. It works. Nice. Every state works. Perfect. That's it. That's the end of the tutorial. As you can see, it works. I will just explain a little summarize in case you got lost. You can also take a look at the tutorial again, but this may be useful. Okay, so go to models item. This bow.json is the Manila bow that manages the custom model data. If we open it, the display part is not necessary, so don't take a look at it. If the pooling is 1, 0.65 and 0.9, these are the models that are going to be used. These files are in here. You don't see it because these are the vanilla ones. If you put files here, they will override the vanilla ones. That's why we created a folder. Okay? And we added new lines with the same stuff, but with custom model data 1. And every model we are linking to is inside bow1, the folder created, bow1. So if the custom model data 1 is there, the bow will use these 4 files. What are these 4 files? Let's take a look at them. Well, all the pooling ones are linked to the texture inside bow1. Not this bow one. No, the textures bow one. Here, perfect, here, perfect, here, perfect. And the bow, when you copy, they will have many things. Just left the display and change the texture. As you can see, the layer 0 is bow inside bow 1. The tutorial is end, so I will just delete bow 1 so you can see what happens if you don't add a bow 1. And you can see it doesn't have more the texture inside bow 1. It has the texture bow. But if you load it, the texture that will be applied is the white one. Why? Because if we go to models, let's open all these. All the pooling are inside bow1, are using the files inside bow1, except the normal bow. So just a couple of mistakes you can do. Or for example, the ones that I also explained, if you go to the model that manages the custom model data, this one, as you can see, it's fixed, just in case. The custom model data without pooling must be at the top. Because if you place it down, for example, after all the pooling ones, I'm referring to the same custom model data. When you load, this arrow that appears here will not appear. And that's it. You may find some books or some stuff if you do the steps in a different way. I would suggest just to take a look at this tutorial and apply the same steps. If you are working with crossbows, well, it's the same idea. With shields, it's the same idea. I'm telling you, it's actually the same idea. The hardest part is getting the files needed. But I already explained how to get the files. And in this tutorial, I explained how to use the files. And that's it. I hope you understood the tutorial. If have any question, feel free to ask in the comments or in the Discord. You can DM, you can chat in the link in the description below. And that's it. I hope you like it and see you.